Alright, I'm going to try to go over some ideas for optimizing flake food feedings for your fish. I really don't like being on cam because I'm afraid I'm going to crack the lens. But for this one, there's really no choice because I can't figure out how to do this and stay to where you can see what I'm doing. So first thing, wear gloves when you touch flake food, fish tanks, do water changes, any of that stuff. And got something to read from. Back in the old days, we pretty much didn't have too much of a choice with what to feed the fish. There was really only a few manufacturers of the flake foods to choose from. I used to have containers of them. We had Tetramin, Wardley, Hart's, and a couple others. Nowadays you can get almost any kind of flake food. There's a lot of private labeled stuff. There is other companies, Cobalt, OSI, Ocean, and others that make specific types of flake food. Now I normally use Angel's Plus or Ken's Fish. I use 6 or 7 types of flake food. Now what I like, I'm not affiliated with Angel's Plus or Ken's Fish, I just use their stuff. I like the Angel's Plus because they give you these thick black bags that you can reuse after you use the fish food. Now you don't want to use it for human food afterwards, just other kinds of fish food. So I try to mix a few together. Vivid Color Flake is his color flake. And these are the Ken Fish ones. This is spirulina, very important to use, I think. And a few others are earthworm flake, bloodworm flake, and brine shrimp, and also egg flake. So they're the primary ones that I use. Sometimes I'll also use predator flake, beef heart, bloodworm, which I think I mentioned. And I try to tailor it for the fish that I'm feeding. So you really want to have protein percentage that's like 43, 44 or above. And when the fish get older, you're really going to want to back off on the fat content. So the reason for that is because the males will get chesty and they really don't need it, the fat content. So I increase the spirulina, the vegetable flake, the egg flake, and I started doing this about 10 years ago. And I just started buying specific flake foods, and as I've mentioned in other videos, I feed the fish live baby brine shrimp every day, and also the high protein flake food that I make, and then also this flake food mix, which I'll try to go through how I do it. So this is an empty bucket, big bucket. There used to be OSI Color Foods, and this isn't going to be real scientific. I don't measure, really don't measure with anything. It's also hard to open these bags once you have the gloves on. Jeez. Man, what's up with that? Alright, this ain't going well. Alright. So normally what I'll do, take out the silica gel thing. I don't want to feed the fish that. And I'll just reach in. It's probably an easier way. Take a few handfuls. This is the color flake. And that out of the way. Then the some bloodworm flake I'll add next. Already used most of the bag, so this is pretty scientific way to measure. The spirulina I try to do a little bit extra, so there's not much left, so I'm going to use that all the way up. So these are, I think, half-pound packages. These are from Ken's Fish. They give you the ingredients list on it, the fat and the fiber and the protein. So you can tell I never had a job working with nitroglycerin, or else I'd be missing a lot of limbs. There we go. Just got those 3 in there and nothing is falling. This is the brine shrimp, which I never opened. These are all vacuum sealed. And once again, we're going to have to try to open the Ziploc thing. There we go. This is a brine shrimp flake. Got 2 of them. And let's see what else I want to put in there. I already put in the color flake, so we're not going to do that again. This is a meat flake that he makes, Predator. It's Angels Plus. It's got a lot of different kinds of meat in it. And boy, I should open these bags before I started. So there's not too much left in this package. Alright. Do have the silica thing. We don't want to feed the fish with that. Not too much left in this one, so I'm just going to dump it. So now I can reuse this, obviously not to bring my lunch anywhere. Gently put that down, and then the lid goes on next. And this is the official way to do it. Got a big hunk of something in there. Probably another one of the silica gel things. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. Completely mixed. You can actually almost see what I'm showing you. Obviously I couldn't have been a hand model or anything. These don't look good. But let's see, I had one other one I want to put in there. Put some more spirulina in. With a pleco. Well, you have to take the lid off, otherwise it's difficult to get the actual flake food into the bucket. And this one's really full, I just opened it. So we'll go with the precise measuring method. Now I would alter the foods I use depending on what fish I'm going to feed. In the old days when I used to raise angels, I would do a higher meat content. And when I was raising African cichlids, I would use more vegetable spirulina. You can also buy a number of different ones with garlic, which is good if you're feeding vampire plecos, I guess, or some kind of fish. And there's so many others you can't even keep track. And this one is a growth flake. So I think I'm up to about 42 kinds at this point, because I'm still filling the bucket. I'll put a little bit of this in there. This is once again the official precise measuring thing. Now I don't sell flake food. Everybody else sells it. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how you can optimize how you feed your fish by tailoring the diet for the types of fish that you're raising. Now you might want to just find somebody to buy this stuff from, and then come up with some kind of a system, maybe better than what I have. These last 2 shakes are the important ones. Okay, nothing exploded, which is always a good thing. And you can see that this is totally blended in now. You can't really identify what's what here. It's all different stuff combobulated together. So if this doesn't fall when I come back, we'll be off to a good start. So what I do next is I save these large containers. This one was San Francisco Bay bloodworms, which none of my fish will ever eat anymore. Nothing wrong with it, but guppies don't seem to like it. The axolotls won't go near it. So then with the precise measuring thing, I just do that. Try to spill some wherever I can. And through the magic of nothing, this is completely full. So part of the benefits of doing it this way is your fish aren't going to get bored with the food that they're eating. If you feed them the same flake food every day, they're eventually going to stop eating it. So this way they're getting a little bit of everything. It's all high protein stuff. I don't know what's going on with my pinky. Remember that show, The Invaders? Where everybody was alien had the pinky problem? I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out. I better look for my birth certificate. So anyway, this is what it looks like. It's all mixed up. And then I just go tank to tank, obviously. And this will last a long time, feeding all these tanks even. So it's just a way you can improve how much good quality food you're getting into your fish. And like I said, stop them from getting bored with the foods they're getting, because they tend to get tired of stuff, much like we do. If you ate eggs for breakfast every day, you're probably not going to want eggs for breakfast the next day. So I managed to save this bucket to use, and it works pretty good. This one is pretty good plastic. It's not brittle. It didn't fall apart. This is pretty old. I used to get this from that fish place, that pet place, and the big buckets. They were pretty reasonable. So that's the general idea on what to do with the flake foods you're going to mix up for your fish. These things are disposable. Let's pretend that went in the trash. Really went on the floor. And that's kind of it. If you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. This was my idea for something a little bit different. Like I said, I don't really like being on camera because it's not a pretty sight. So anyway, thanks for watching. And any questions, you feel free to ask. And I appreciate it.